already told you guys and girls yesterday that we were going to go over this CPI report, inflationary report that just came out yesterday. Inflation, you seen the market take a big jump up yesterday, and everybody was like, oh, they didn't care what inflation rates were. But then today we've seen a big reversal with the market starting off high, then going back down. So right here, let's go to the CPI report, and it's got to ask you that question. Inflation rose 0.4%. Are these interest rates that the Federal Reserve keep continuing to rise, that hammer that's keep trying to hammer out that inflation, which is that nail, what you see in that thumbnail, that interest rates are the hammer that the Federal Reserve is using to hammer out this inflation. But inflation is like that stubborn nail that won't go nowhere. So let's go over the CPI report. Let's look at the interest rates. Let's do a little history on when this happened back in the 80s and much more. But if you haven't done so already, I know what time it is. Go ahead and make sure.
Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon, hit that like, comment, and share button.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and children of all ladies, you're now tuned into the Investor Show. As always, this is your gracious host, the Prince of Investing, Prince Dykes, coming to you guys and girls live all the way from this beautiful city and state of Denver, Colorado. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, comment, and share button. And as always, I don't have a lot of time, and I definitely know you guys and girls don't have a lot of time. So we're going to do what? Jump straight into it. So I'm here on the Bureau of Labor Statistics.gov, that's BLS.gov, reading the Consumer Price Index summary that came out at 8:30 a.m. yesterday, Thursday, October 13th. This is what it says. The Consumer Price Index for all urban consumers rose 0.4% in September on a seasonal adjusted basis after rising 0.1% in August. The U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics reported today. Over the last 12 months, the all items index increased 8.2% before seasonal adjustments. Ladies and gentlemen, I am not telling you what I heard, what I saw. I'm giving you factual information. I'm not giving you information I got from another article, what I heard, what somebody said. This is coming straight from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. As you can see it pulled up on your screen if you can see the show. So right here, you look across the board over the last 12 months, where do you think who ran the highest? No, I don't do 12 months. In September, let's see September, who came in at the highest, what sector? Boom, there you have it. It was utility coming in at 2.9%, right? Utilities coming in at 2.9%. And right behind that was what? Shelter. I think shelter is another one. Yeah, rent for shelter. Shelter was at 0.07. And you have the energy sector too is at 1.1. So utilities, pipe gas is the one that rose the highest. And over the last 12 months, fuel oil gas prices have been the big winner over the last 12 months, even though the last couple months they have been okay. But the last 12 months has been a big jump. So right here, ladies and gentlemen, you are seeing let's see who went down the most. Was gasoline prices. So you seen gas prices come down when President Biden, that's why you see that gas stock, that BPT, not really hitting as hard as it was. And you seen gas prices kind of come down after President Biden started to release oil out of the reserve. But you just saw what OPEC said. OPEC said they're going to cut oil coming in November. But these are, I can go on and on about this CPI report, but you're seeing right here, inflation, it's not stopping. What happened, right? Inflation is not stopping. What happened? The interest rates, they were going up 50 base points. Then the federal government said, let's go from 50 base points to 75 base points. And we still have inflation running. What are we going to do now? I think we're going to go to 100 base points at the next Federal Reserve meeting. But history repeats itself. So let's look at a chart and see the last time this happened. We had this happen back in the 80s. Let me share this with y'all. Y'all give me 1 second. Let me pull up this chart that I have saved here for y'all to pull up to see when this happened back in the 80s. So here's a chart. I'm getting this chart from gzeromedia.com of 50 years of inflation versus interest rate that I found. Seemed to be pretty accurate that I saw. So you're looking back here, right? In the 80s, the yellow marker that you see is interest rates. Interest rates reached a peak of 20%. Look at that, 20%. So what interest rates did, interest rates became more and more aggressive. So as you can see in the late 70s, you saw interest rates going up, but then you saw inflation going up, but you saw interest rates chasing it. And then interest rates actually overshot um, inflation. It went up to 20%. Inflation stopped around about 15%. And then you've seen inflation started to kind of pull back, and you've seen interest rates starting to kind of chop down, chop down, chop down, chop down. And then you saw interest rates kind of flatline, be close to zero because we had that 2008 pandemic. And now you're looking at here, look at inflation now rising up here at 8%. Inflation and interest rates are down here at 2. So even Einstein, Ray Charles can see interest rates are on their way up into the economy. And guess what happened back in the 80s when they did this? This forced them into a recession. So, but here we go. You're seeing interest rates are at about 2-3% right now, and you're seeing inflation running up about 8. So you're going to see if the chart repeats itself, as you can see, inflation's way up here today at the 8%, 8.2. You're going to see interest rates start to kind of come up behind it and change it. And now I can look at this and see inflation possibly hitting the 2%. I mean, a double digits, 2 digits. So right here, you're looking at this, that hammer. They're trying to hammer out this inflation, like inflation, go away, go away, go away. They're trying to hammer it out, but it is not coming in easy. So I think this is going to be more aggressive pushes by the Federal Reserve. This is why you see the market fall down. This is why you're seeing stocks fall down. This is why you're seeing home prices starting to kind of top out, drop a little bit, because people are anticipating, and the Federal Reserve already told you they are anticipating higher interest rates going into next year as well. So right here, the last time this happened, this was a self-induced not interest rate, but a self-induced, what's that thing called? A self-induced recession that I said from day one a long time ago, because once you get this inflation going crazy, how can you fix it? So let me ask y'all this question. Do you think these Federal Reserve interest rates are working? Because they was doing 50 base points, 75 base points, and inflation is still like nanny boo boo and keep running around, right? What are we going to do with these interest rates? Are they working? Have they failed? What's going on? You know, he's got to put that hammer down and get a sludge hammer and push this thing about 150 base points, depending on how aggressive he wants to become. But I don't think Jerome Powell is going to do that. I think he at least going to do 75 base points, but he might jump up to 100 base points. He need to go ahead and do it. So Max B said this in one of the shows. It was like, hey, man, just go ahead and do 100 base points, 1%, get this thing go with. But I think they're trying to teeter-totter to see, I don't want to do too much, not doing too little. But back in the 80s, you can see they overran inflation with Paul Volcker at the helm with those interest rates. And hey, that's what happened. But history repeats itself. This sledgehammer, this hammer, they're trying to hammer out this inflation. Federal Reserve. Now we saw the interest rates continue to rise in September. Now we wait to see what the Federal Reserve is going to do. Everybody anticipating higher interest rates. This is why you're seeing everybody brace themselves and stocks and all of the good stuff like that. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. What y'all think going over this inflationary report, CPI report, and these interest rates with this dog chasing his tail. As always, don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, comment, and share button, and go in that description box and make sure you make a contribution to the Wesley Learns Book Club. That's right, the Wesley Learns Book Club, teaching kids about investing, credit, and insurance. We're being matched up to 10 grand by the Contribute app. So every dollar you donate will be matched up to 10 grand. Make a contribution if you ever like anything I ever put out over these decade that I've been putting it down. All right. Until the next video, podcast, cartoon, or whatever else y'all see me do around the globe, y'all already know I'm the Prince of Investing. My name is Prince Dykes. Peace. Be safe. I'm out, and thank you.